Ooh, yes. Listen, today has been a Thursday of Thursdays. I feel as though I'm simply running on E. I know some people may feel like this. It literally, if your body had a gas tank, it would be running on E. But that's okay. I'm here to renew myself and refresh myself in the self care session. And so I hope that you guys got that same energy and you're ready to renew yourself and refresh yourself because today is the best day. Literally today was one of those days where I was running nonstop, but here I am, relaxing in the comfort of my own home with some of my favorite people. Yes, you guys are some of my favorite people. I absolutely enjoy doing self care sessions. For those of you who are new and don't know who I am, my name is Lisa, and every Thursday I do self care sessions. Self care sessions are time that I personally carve out of the day just to really just decompress, not run around, not do crazy stuff, just kind of reflect. It's also where I share with you self care techniques. Now, self care means different things to different people. For some people, self care is drinking a glass of wine after a long day. It's a long run. It's a walk in the park. And yes, those are all great methods of self care. I don't think there's one method that's better than another. I do think you can combine them. And so, in addition to doing all those wonderful self care things, also working on yourself, working through the things that you really struggle with, that is also a form of self care. And I'll promote it 110%. So much so that I provide you with tips, tools, and techniques so that you can kind of work through some of the things that you're trying to deal with this self care. Now, me personally, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am just someone who has really been through a lot of situations. And as a result, I've collected all this information and it works. Some of the things worked well for me because they worked well for me. I wanted to share them with other people. And so a lot of the information that I'm sharing with you, I'm sharing from a place of rehabilitation, recovery, healing, and just feeling good, right? And so I want other people to have that. And so that's what these self care sessions do. I share it's an opportunity for me to share that with you so you can get to the place of recovery, rehabilitation, and healing. It is wonderful. Trust me, it is great. Now, it's never easy. I always have that disclaimer because a lot of times people talk about, oh, I'm working on my wellness and it's a wellness journey. Like that sounds good. However, it's a battle. It's something you have to work towards every day. It's something you have to really, dig deep in and dive deep because it's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you're just going to be like, I don't got it. I don't got it to give. And so that's okay too. But I'm here for you when you're ready to do the work, okay? Today's self care session is called The Assignment, The Inner Light in You. I'm excited about this. This is something I've been thinking about for a long time. I've been kind of like chit chatting with my friends about, and I was like, you know what? Let me share it with my tribe because I think they might be thinking the same thing I'm thinking, or maybe they don't know about it. If they don't know, I want to share it with them. And they kind of came from an inspiration of this meme that I saw on the internet. And it essentially, the meme was about actors and actresses that were on assignment, essentially. What that meant was they had did roles, they'd done them so well, they excelled, they were doing exceedingly well that people have a hard time differentiating that character in them. And the first person that comes to mind, and I'm a little bit biased because he's like my favorite actor, is Denzel Washington. Like for me, it's hard to differentiate between Malcolm X and Denzel Washington because he did such an extraordinary job. And not only did he do an extraordinary job, when he played this role, he was in a hostile environment. And what do I mean by that? Again, going back to the internet. Not too long ago, there was a hashtag that was trending and it was called Oscar So White. And so basically, this was a hashtag that was highlighting the fact that individuals of color and different nationalities and abilities and sexual orientations were being almost virtually excluded from the Oscars, although their work contributes to a lot of the wonderful art that we have. And so the environment that they're performing in, it's not one of those environments where like, well, come on down, we'd love to see you. Some of them are working in hostile environments. The role wasn't really meant for them. And these actors and these actresses, despite all the odds, they still manage to body these roles. They still manage to do an incredible job. And people know them for now and forevermore as the people who have done these roles. Not only was it Denzel, but you have people like Eartha Kitt, you have people like Will Smith, who else? It's so many, and it just they really don't get recognized as on the level they should, in terms of the industry they're in. But everybody can recognize them. Everybody knows that they're talented, and everyone knows. Why am I talking about them on the assignment? Well, the assignment for them was to be an actor or actress and excel at it. And despite all odds, they did it and they ran with it. And they did such an incredible job that people gravitate towards them. It's like they have an inner light within them, and people are gravitating towards them. They want to see them. They want to know what their next project is. They just want to be around them. I honestly believe a lot of us have those same properties. A lot of us are on an assignment. Now, it might not be acting. Some of us were born to sing. Some of us were born to dance. Some of us, our assignment was just be natural researchers. Some of our assignments were to be tinkerers. Some of our assignments were to be speakers. We all have an assignment that's within us that only we can do. Nobody else can do the role exceedingly well like us. Only we can do it. And when we do it, and when we do it well, it creates this inner light that just radiates, and people gravitate to you, and people notice it. People can say, you know what, it's something about the way you sing that song that's different. It's something about the way you cook that dish that's different. It's something about the way that you interact with people or children or people with special needs that's different, right? You were put here in this world with an assignment, and only you know what that assignment is. Now, a lot of us are probably like, I don't got no assignment. I'm sorry, I missed that class. I don't know. I'm just here, just taking up space. That's not true. You do have an assignment. Now, what may have happened is you had this incredible assignment. You always were working on, because we don't. Sometimes it just comes so natural to us, the assignment. Sometimes we just don't realize that that's the gift or the talent that we have. And when people recognize it, we're like, oh, that's just the thing that I do. Oh, I sing in the shower all the time. Oh, I whip up 5-star meals all the time. Oh, I fix everything. You know what I mean? Some people are like that. They're on the assignment. They don't even realize it, but other people around you realize it. And for so long, they just kind of go, along with the flow. I know myself personally, I definitely can resonate with the idea of being on assignment, because for me, and what you'll realize with me in these self-care sessions, I use myself and people that I know all the time, because I like to be able to give it to you in a real way. I don't want to just come with you with theories and ideas. Like, I'm bringing it to you from the most personable level I can, and that's myself. So for me and my assignment, I feel like for a long time, I was on this assignment, right? My assignment was to speak. And I know some people are probably like, well, that's kind of odd. No, it's not. When I was younger, all I did was talk all the time. And my mom, my dad, my Aunt Mary, everyone would be like, oh, you're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be something and whatever, because you talk all the time. That's all you ever do is talk, 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 talk. And I love to talk. I enjoy talking. In fact, I would go research words. I would just go read encyclopedias and dictionaries to come up with different ways to say things, because my assignment was to talk, was to speak. I enjoyed it, and it just came second nature to me. And so this is the thing that is just put in me that I really enjoy doing. And for so long, I was blossoming, I was growing in it, until a certain point in my life, maybe around elementary school, middle school, early high school, people started to say something about the way that you talk is different. I don't really like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. You think you're better than me, or are you trying to be something that you're not? Now, when you hear that repeatedly, you start to internalize that kind of thing, right? So for me, it was my mission and my goal to not share or talk. It was to silence myself, right? And so for a long time, I just didn't want to talk. I just kind of was like, I'm gonna go with the flow. It is what it is. Until I went to college. And when I went to college, I was like, you know what? I took a speech class, did extraordinarily well. And I was like, you know what? Maybe there is something here. Maybe I need to try to explore this. Let me see what this is about. But because I have been knocked so much in the past for doing the thing that I enjoyed to do, I always was a little self-conscious about it, right? And so I would be doing these speeches, because when I went to college, I ended up getting on the debate team. I would be doing these speeches, and I would be having these conversations with intellectuals, and right in the middle of it, I would just freeze. And I would say those things to myself that those people had said to me. Oh, you just, something about the way you talk doesn't sound right. That's odd, or that sounds stupid. That just can't be true, right? And so little did I know that as I'm going through college, I'm actually speaking and working and, trying to develop my skill with some of the world's greatest minds. A lot of the people I went to school with, they ended up becoming judges. They went on to become politicians, lawyers, just really incredible people, right? I'm engaging with them on a regular basis, but I still feel as though something about me is just not worthy. Something about me is just not right. I'm not good enough. And so, I kind of push down my light a little bit. I mean, sometimes I shine and then I dim down. I shine and then I dim down. So then, life goes on and then I just come up with this crazy idea. And I'm like, you know what? Let me explore. Let me see what this speaking thing is all about. And I remember having a conversation with someone that I really cared deeply about and saying, I think I want to give this speaking thing a try. And the person looks at me and says, you don't have anything, like, why are you don't have anything to say. Nobody would care what you have to say. Um, but then at that point, I made up my mind. I'm not going to let that stop me. And so I still started developing. I still started trying to get to that level. And here I am now sharing with you. Why did I tell you this extraordinarily long story? Well, the reason is a lot of us find ourselves in the same situation where I was, where I was really interested and really put my whole and my heart and my everything into speaking. And my free time, I was reading, I was researching, I was trying to find different ways to communicate with people. A lot of us have those natural talents and those gifts, and that's what we do, work on them all the time, right? And our light is just so bright and we're just shining. And then something or someone comes along and just dims it. And it gets to the point that they dim you so much that you can't even imagine letting that inner light shine, right? You're doing everything in your power to cover it up and to hide it. In fact, it makes you uncomfortable, the idea that someone would even pay attention to what it was or your skill or what you thought your skill was or what your assignment was. And so you hide it, right? And so your light, your bright light that you had on the inside, it is dimming and dimming and dimming. And that's the goal. You don't want to be seen. You don't want people to know that that's the thing you do. You're ashamed. You're afraid to let people see you sing. You're afraid to let people see you dance. You're afraid to let people see you do what it is that you were put here to do, your assignment, right? Um, and some of us, we just get stuck there and we'll never leave. We'll just be there because the fear, the idea of really trying to climb through that and work through it is too painful. It's too scary. The world has really done a number on us because people can be cruel. Let's be honest. People say some things because they're hurt or just because that's how they are. And it really knocks your confidence and you don't know where to go from there, right? You're just like, it must be true because that person said it to me. Because sometimes it's the people that you trust. Sometimes it's the people that you care about, right? And so you don't know where to go from there. Some people will stay in that dark place. Now, there was another part of the story, the part of the story where I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to push myself a little bit. I'm going to try. The part where I was shining sometimes, and then sometimes I wasn't. Who I was in the past, it would just bring me back down. Some of us, we're on assignment. We're working through it. We're overcoming obstacles. We're doing what it is we need to do, but just enough. We're not doing more than that because what if those people were right? What if nobody really believes in you? What if, and there's so many things. So you'll grow bright and then you'll dim. And you'll grow bright and then you'll dim. And you're kind of like in this back and forth session where you're just never really, your mind won't allow you to escape, right? You have so much noise around you just telling you, it's time for you to just let it go. But you fight it though. It's something inside of you that says, let me reignite this fire. Let me reignite this fuel. Let me keep going, right? So that's where some of us are. Now, other people, we have successfully just said, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. I'm going to do what I do because this is what I was put on this earth to do. Okay. Some of us are shining so bright. Our lights are like supernova beams. You can see them from everywhere. You can see them from out in the outer space. You can see them everywhere because you are shining that bright. Now, even though you're shining bright and you're just letting all that background noise, that's what I'm going to call it, that background noise or the haters, you're letting it kind of slide. You still have people who are going to try to attach to that light and drag you down, right? So everywhere on the spectrum, people have assignments. You notice that I said that everybody has an assignment, right? Now, whether you choose to accept the assignment, whether you're working on the assignment, or whether you exceeded on the assignment, everybody has the assignment. And depending on how well you do on your assignment is how well your light is going to shine, how much people are going to be attracted to you, how much you're going to be able to work through people's lives, how much you're going to be able to just be bright, right? This is where we're at. we have to really, as people, sit down and do the self-care work and do the work, because I had to do the work myself, and recognize, number one, what is my assignment? What was I put here to do? What is the purpose? Because some of us don't know, and that's perfectly fine to not know. A lot of people don't find their assignments when they're 18. A lot of people don't find their assignments when they're 28, 38, 48. Heck, some people only find their assignments when they're 58, and that's okay, because assignments don't have there's not a due date for this assignment, okay? The assignment is whenever you're ready and you've done the work and you've excelled and you worked hard at it, right? So some of us are still trying to find out what the assignment is. And so number one, the first thing you're going to do is identify your assignment. I don't know, you're like, well, how do I do that? Because I honestly, like I said, I just showed up to this class. I didn't know there was work to be involved. Well, one of the things you can do, what I would recommend doing, is kind of journaling. Sit down every day, write down the things that you enjoy doing, write down the things that you're good at, or what others have told you that you're good at, and just journal and just really pour it out there, because eventually something's going to start to come together. Another thing that you can do, that I also recommend doing, is meditating. Just allow your mind to be free and don't really try to force the thought, but just think, and well, not really think, but just like clear your mind, and just, it'll come to you, right? You can do a combination of both, or you can also sit down with someone and kind of hash it out. Say, hey, I'm really trying to figure out what it is that I'm good at, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. There's lots of personality quizzes and tests and things like that. I'm a firm believer in those too. Take the time, do the work, right? So number one, we're going to figure out what it is we were put here to do. A lot of times when you do the personality test, and this is for me in particular, when I do the Myers-Briggs personality test, it changes over time, but mine has pretty much been consistent. I always get the facilitator, the teacher, the speaker. That's just what I was meant to do, right? And so some of you guys should invest in doing these personality tests and these inventories, so that you can see, what are my skills? What are the things you're good at? Because again, sometimes we're doing them so well, we don't even realize that we're incredible. Like some of us, real life right now, are like slaying hair to the gods. And it's just a thing that we do. We don't know. We don't know that we're bomb.com nail techs. We don't know this stuff because it just comes so easy. But it's your assignment. So of course, you got it, right? So number one, we're going to find out what our assignment is, right? Number two, once you find that assignment, you need to surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you and who are going to uplift you, because there's going to be a couple of groups of people who are going to get you off track. Some of them are going to be really close friends and family, because when they see you doing well, it kind of makes them feel uncomfortable. LL Cool J says sometimes the reason people hate you is because it makes them put a mirror up to themselves and have to examine themselves. And I think that's very true. Some of us are going to have friends and family, when they see us doing well and they see us working on our assignment, they're going to be like, man, why are you putting in so much effort trying to go to school to cut hair? Ain't nobody got time for that. Why are you trying to be a truck driver? Why are you doing what you're doing? That's whack, okay? They're going to tell you all these things. They're going to have a lot to say, right? But the reality of it is, the fact of the matter is, it makes them uncomfortable because they see your light. So when your light starts to shine, they're going to try to dim it. And it doesn't have to be friends. Like I said, it could be families too, right? And so those are going to be a group of people. And it's not, I honestly don't think they do it intentionally, but sometimes it is, right? So you're going to have those people. And then the other people is us. We as people, okay? We will talk ourselves out of something in a heartbeat. Listen, when I was at the top of my game in college and I was doing very well in debates, I was offered an invitation to go travel and be a part of the debate team. And they invited me. It wasn't something that I had volunteered to do. I was invited to go. It was to China. And I said, no, there's absolutely no way I would go. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve that opportunity. There's definitely, I talked myself out of it. So like I said, we are people, right? We will talk ourselves out of opportunities. We will tell ourselves that we don't deserve stuff. We will tell ourselves that we are not good enough. And sometimes we just be straight up lying to ourselves. We don't know why. We just do it, just self-sabotaging left and right, left and right. And so for that reason, that's why I said you need a support group. You need people who are going to pour into you and who are going to motivate you and who are going to say, you know what, the devil is a liar. That ain't for you. You know what? You are an incredible person. We're going to make you do these things. We're going to help you. Well, not make, you can't make nobody do that, but we're going to make sure that you get to where you need to go. And so you need to have people around you who are going to push you, who are going to just not accept the bare minimum from you, who are really going to encourage you and coach you and show you how you can get to that level and how you can ace your assignment so that you can shine and work for other people. So that inner light inside of you can be so bright that everybody that walks in the room is going to notice it. Not some of the people, not maybe everybody is going to notice it. Okay. You need to have that group around you. Now, you can reach out to people, that you maybe you lost contact with, or people who doing whatever it is that you're doing. Like maybe your assignment is to do hair. You've been really talented. Reach out to other people who've successfully done it. They may coach you through it. I know a lot of people who are successful in their assignments. They don't mind showing other people how to do it because they enjoy it so well. They want other people to benefit from it too. So maybe it's somebody that's in that industry or in that or that is doing the thing that you were put here to do, right? So you find your tribe. Okay, so those are your people. Another way that you can get a support system, and this is a shameless plug, but I'm going to do it anyway. Join my Facebook group called A Tribe Called LLM. That's all I do every day is pour into people, encourage people. I want to see you do well. I want you to feel empowered from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to sleep. You're like, you know what? I got this. This is okay. We're working through it. It's going to be all right. And even if you don't use my support group, find another support group. It's good to have support. You need a support system so that you can, whenever people come to you who are negative, who are not for you, you can just be like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I got my people over here. Now, another way that you can get support, and for me, a lot of times, this was a method that I use. You can read books or listen to podcasts or, hey, thank you so much for joining me. You can read books, you can join podcasts, you can do all kinds of awesome things. I see you, girl. Linda Mac, I see you, baby. You can read books. You can You can read books. You can listen to podcasts. You can look at documentaries and see how people done what they've done, and just kind of study. And that can also be a motivation. There's tons of books out there that are really about just, again, making you get to your next level, making sure you stay on target with your assignment. It's very important that you don't feel as though, well, I don't have the friends. I don't have a support group. I don't want you to feel like it's only one way to get it. There's multiple ways to get it. Okay. You're not trapped. Okay. It's not a one trick pony. So you identify you've identified what it is that you're good at, and you've also said, you know what, I think that I need the support. So you reached out and you got the support and you're working on it. Now the next thing you need to do is commit to it, and part of committing to it is planning, right? We can talk all day, we can say the things and they'll sound great. We'll say, well, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to sign up for that class. Tomorrow I'm going to go for that walk I said I was going to go on. Tomorrow is the day. But what if tomorrow doesn't come? We got to stop being like that. We got to sit down. We got to really do the work, and we got to plan. And so part of planning is making smart goals. I talk about it all the time. But also just being intentional on what it is that you're trying to do. And this time, when you're sitting down and you're trying to make your goals and you're trying to be intentional, you're going to say, I have an assignment. I have a purpose. I was placed on this earth to do something incredible, and I'm ready to fulfill it. Okay. So when you're going in with those intentions and you're setting those goals, it's going to help you to stick to those goals. I promise you. Okay. And so that's why for this particular process, you can't really skip steps, right? You got to make sure you know what it is that you're trying to do, and you're intentional about what you're doing, and you're just really focused, and you have that support system around you. Listen, I really, really, really enjoy helping people plan and get to that level that they need to be at. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're like, you know what, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what I could do. Well, what I'm going to do is if you choose to sit down with me for a one-on-one, I can work with you on that. We can sit down, we can come up with a plan that makes sense, a plan that's manageable, and we can work through some of those things that are kind of holding you back, some of those roadblocks, identify the things that are holding you back. Okay. So yeah, that's what it's all about, guys. This is what this session's about. The session today was about finding your assignment, right? So that you can be a light in other people's lives, so that you can change people's lives. There are some people right now who are on assignment, and they need to get busy. They need to get doing what they need to do, because they are the ones who are going to find the cure for cancer. They are the ones who are going to end all this strife that we have going on as far as with the racial tension and stuff like that. Some of our greatest minds right now are here right now. You are one of those people. and you have to be ready. You got to get into your assignment, okay? It's not too late. You can still turn it in, right? And like I said, it doesn't happen at a particular age. Sometimes it happens, later on in life. But whatever your assignment is, let's work on it, okay? Let's put in the work. Let's really ace this so that we can be shining lights. We can be beacons. People gonna see us from miles and miles away. We're just gonna be shining so brightly, okay? That's my goal. That is what I desire for everybody, right? Um, so that's what today's self-care session is. It's really about doing this work so we can get to be the bright, shining lights. Before I let y'all go, because I know y'all like, dang. I just want to let y'all know that I'll have a lot of things coming up in May. I'm going to continue to do the self-care sessions. One of the self-care sessions that I'm going to be talking about is boundaries. I'm excited about that. Another self-care session that I plan on doing is about toxic people in your life. I mean, I mentioned them in the previous sessions, those toxic people, and I was like, you know what? I keep talking about them. It's time for me to dedicate a whole entire self-care session about toxic people. So that's another self-care session that I'll also be doing. And then I'll have a Transformation Tuesday. Transformation Tuesdays are so fun to me because it's not just me talking, it's me bringing in someone who has successfully transformed lives. And so I do have a Transformation Tuesday coming up in May, and I'm really excited about that. And so just stay tuned. Make sure if you're not in the group, A Tribe Called LLM, make sure you log into Facebook. In fact, as soon as this is over, log into Facebook if you have not already, and become a member of A Tribe Called LLM. In addition, if you're wanting to work one-on-one with me, you can always go to my website, www.ulisasays.com. And even if you don't want to work with me, because I understand some people have to go at their own pace, and I'm not here to push you to be in an uncomfortable place. I have blogs up there, look at me, can't talk. I got blogs up there that'll help you work through some of these things, these self-care sessions. I also have self-care sessions, previous self-care sessions, as well as life hacks and tips. So if you got the time, make sure you check me out on my website. Again, it is www.ulisasays.com. And yeah, I just hope you guys stay encouraged. A lot of times when we hear the work that we have to do, we just get overwhelmed and we're like, yeah, I can't. No, you can. You can do that. And even if no one else tells you, I'm telling you right now, you're capable. You are fully capable of achieving this, and you're going to be able to do it. It's just a matter of you deciding and changing the mindset and getting ready to do the work. Like I said, I'm here with you every step of the way. I'm not going to let you down. And so I'm really excited again to have another self-care session with you. You guys are wonderful. You're amazing. And make sure you tell a friend. If you like this and you're like, you know what, this is my jam, tell a friend. You guys, I love you. I love you from the very bottom of my heart, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. And one last thing. If there's something that you want to talk about, or you have a self-care session you kind of want to jump into, let me know. I'm open to it. We can do it. We can do it together. But like I said, I ain't gonna hold you too long. I appreciate you tuning in. And I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. That is the self-care session for tonight. Good night. Good night.